In this video, we're gonna address the pillow decorations and the separators in this modern-looking couch. So I'm just gonna start by creating a primitive box. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of eyeball where it's supposed to sit. And just maybe change the dimensions of it a little bit. Doesn't need to be that wide, so alright, so and again, I can just preview a smooth version of it, and it's going to be a little bit kind of too smooth at this point, so I want to add a couple loops so I can make sharper edges. And I'm just going to go with something like this, nothing too extreme. Perhaps this one will just make it a little bit closer for it to be sharper. Same thing here at the bottom, and same here. Alright, so one thing that I'm noticing is that this probably needs to be a little bit bended to be able to follow along the shape of the couch. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to add a little bit of resolution here in the middle of it, and then I'm going to use a non-linear deformer to be able to bend it. So to do that, I'm going to change my mode into animation and go into create deformers. And if you see the non-linears, it's basically this tab right here. And again, you get to it by going into animation, create deformer, non-linear, and just detach that tab. So I'm gonna add a bend, and basically I'm just gonna go here into my channel box and change the curvature a little bit. And again, it's two things that we can take out of what just happened. One, we see that now that we've added this bend, it has this node that, again, there's a dependency between this piece of geometry and this, which is affecting the shape of it, and two, it's on the wrong axis. To fix that, I'm basically just going to select the node itself, and I'm actually just going to rotate it so it's on the right axis, and just doing it -90 degrees, and it's now bending on the right direction, but it's a little bit too much of a curvature. I just want to make it bend a little bit, and again, just to make sure that I'm doing the right amount, gonna go into my top viewport, orthographic, and it seems to be the right amount of curvature. The next thing that I need to do, because now there is a dependency between that bend node and this piece of geometry, it's get rid of my history. Otherwise, if I move my pillow, it's going to change the shape of it. So to do that, I'm going to go into edit, delete by type, and history. So now if I move my geometry, it's not going to change anything. Alright, so now we just need to add a couple more details to this pillow for it to look more natural, because right now it just kind of looks like it doesn't look like a pillow. Maybe we need to add like a little bit of a seam over here for that to look a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go back into this mode, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of geometry, maybe move some stuff around. So I want to actually probably make this a little bit closer to the edge to make it a little sharper. So I'm going to switch back to my polygons, go into slide edge tool, alright, and I actually want to select all these loops, all this loop of edges over here, and then just gonna convert them into faces because I want to extrude them. So I'm gonna go into select, convert selection, convert to faces, and now I can go into my extrude. Alright, and then I just need to extrude it out from here, and that's going to create the seam that I was trying to create right there. Alright. Let's just make a preview of that. So that's going to give me a little bit of seam here, but I need to make this a little bit more pillow-like. So I'm actually going to do a couple more things here. I'm actually going to select all these faces. I'm going to go ahead and extrude. Just gonna extrude in like this, and maybe just push it out a little bit. And see if this worked. Just gonna do this again and maybe try a different solution that didn't seem to work the way that I hoped. Perhaps I need to have another loop around just to make this sharper, and then use the next one to actually bring it out. So let's just do extrusion one more time. And then scale it down. A little bit too much there. That seemed to work a little bit better. It does look a little bit more pillowy by doing that. So it has a little bit of a seam, again creating a little bit of interest, and we also bend it a little bit so it's following on the shape of it, and we can still go in there and maybe just move geometry around so it's not so flat. Okay. So that looked pretty good. I might have to go later and do a couple of adjustments, but for now this is going to work. Now I want to do also an instance of this, but I want to make it a duplicate special instance, because if I'm going to make a copy of it and then later make changes to it, it's going to affect both of them and not just the original. So I'm just going to create an instance, apply, and then I'm just going to kind of move it over here. And just set it where it's supposed to go. Again, probably should be doing this in my top orthographic viewport. Like this. And I may also need to make another copy and actually put another one on top here. So it's going to be 3 of the same. I could have made 2 duplicate specials while I was at here by adding a number of copies, but I'm just going to make it like this, and again just drag it over rotate it. Just place it where it's supposed to go. Rotate that a bit. Perhaps for this one it's a little more bent than I wanted to, but still is going to create a little bit of interest because this has an interesting shape right there. And now we also need to create the separators. But I'm going to do that in the next lesson. But again, just to make a point out of why you use instances over actual copies, and if I wanted to come in here and add a little bit more detail to this, it's just a matter of, let's say I want to add another loop here. So I'm going to use my insert edge loop tool, and again I'm going to be able to see that anything that I do to this one is actually doing to this one over here as well. The last thing I'm going to do is actually I'm going to go ahead and create a little bit of another extrusion here, again just to kind of emphasize the seam part. So select, convert to faces, and then I want to go ahead and extrude, and we're going to extrude down. Like this, and then make a preview of that, and actually it looks a little better than what I had originally, I think. And again, every change that I made to the original actually made to all the instances, so now all that detail that I just added has been added to the instances. Alright, so in the next video we're going to address the separator and the legs.